So I recently hit level 100, and with that comes with a ton of mistakes that I'll be sharing, so y'all can avoid them. Starting with probably the largest misconception I've seen in the entire Discord server, bro. DOT effects cannot critically hit despite what y'all may have seen. Unless you get a very specific card in Expedition mode, it's just not gonna happen, okay? And no, this doesn't mean the Forsaken trait is bad or anything. Again, I'm just saying y'all, DOT cannot crit. Speaking of dots, they are terrible at fending off shielded enemies, because despite the dot proccing, it doesn't actually tick. And all that means is dot will still work for stuff like Yuta Spirit Bats being summoned, but it just won't ever do damage to shielded enemies. Which is why you gotta bring yourself a rare unit against the shields, who is none other than Goku, an extremely cheap 4 placement unit that hits 4 times every 3 seconds. Because of his low price, you can shred up to 8 shields on wave 0, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is the only unit in the game right now that can pull this off. So thank you Goku, I appreciate you for shredding shields in my challenges. Just like Goku, there is another class of units that kind of get looked down upon. Quite a few epic units are great supportive team members. Of course, you have the obvious eco unit Senku. If you don't use him, you're just trolling. We also got Gray, a slowing unit, and characters like Zoro or Genos who provide a cheap and easy way to proc dot effects for the big boys, like Yuta and Gabimaru. And I'm sure y'all saw this one coming, but I gotta talk about the legendaries, okay? Ramen Guy, obvious farm unit, you have to use him, he's the GOAT. Rukia, another great CC unit due to her freeze, she's the only one with freeze in the game. And for anti-CC, we have Noelle Silva. To be completely honest, she's a very niche pick, like you're very rarely gonna need her because you like have Kenpachi who can just anti-CC. Now I saved the best 2 legends for last. We have Utahime and Himmel. These 2 are the best damage amplifiers right now, Utahime providing a 30% magical damage buff and Himmel 30% physical. They are great in cheap ways to amplify your damage. Also honorable mention, Bond, he's really good for bleed application because of his cone AoE. I just really wish it didn't do him so dirty, like... There are 3 archetypes in the game. We have physical, magical, and psychic. You knew that. But have you noticed how psychic is the only archetype that doesn't have any buffers like Himmel and Utahime? Well, it's because psychic is also the only archetype that cannot be debuffed, which is partially why you see Gother at the top of damn near every tier list, including mine. It's a super general tier list though, so don't look at this like it's Salah or anything, okay? Obviously some units are better at different things, and one tier list can't really cover it all, but feel free to use it, yeah. So now that you've got a general idea of who to pull and who not to pull, you actually shouldn't pull. At least until you check out the event calendar. It might save you a ton of resources. Because the Banner Blitz event, which increases your mythic pull chances and rewards you for gambling, might be around the corner. Just don't pull in the mini banner since pulls here will not give you a secret, and they also don't count towards the secret pity. Unless you don't want Megumi, then I guess that's fine. Let's assume you waited for the Banner Blitz, got all the mythics you wanted, and now it's time for the big E. That's evolution. But wait a minute, you can't E until you SS on all 3. If you came from under the ATD, you'll be familiar with the fact that evolving a unit increases their stats by 1 grade, but not into Z. So ideally you want to jump from SS to SS, because these different stat grades actually make a huge difference. A high rolling Z is an additional 20% damage, while a high rolling S is only 11%. 9% gap, that's pretty big. But there's kind of one problem. Rolling a SS or higher can be pretty difficult, you know? Your luck just might be trash. Now thankfully, for the unfortunate ones out there are 2 solutions. The first, another boost event similar to Banner Blitz called Forge Fever makes evolution increase stats by 2 instead of 1 grade. And the second solution is Worthiness grinding. If you're new to the genre of ATDs, Worthiness builds up from 0 to 400% based on takedowns. When rolling stats, it'll consume 100 in return for higher odds of better stat grades. And there are 2 ways to kind of do this, okay? The first is to hop into an infinite with a loadout, kind of like mine, 1 hyper carry, 5 fodder guys. You place your carry in the back while auto upgrade, load the front up with your piss random mythics, tab out, come back, and you're ready. The second method, which I prefer way more, requires you to do expeditions and make use of the training grounds. Which is insane, by the way. Like, I don't know, a lot of people are kind of like saying this is kind of trash, don't prioritize this, but to me, this is everything, bro. This is how I get all my Z's, bro. Like, I have 2 triple Z's already just from this alone. Anyways, yeah, you just drop your 2 units down here, or 1 if you haven't leveled it up, and you come back later in like what, 4-ish hours, and they have 400 worthiness. The biggest downside though about using worthiness in general is that when you do stat transfers, it costs 10,000 gold per transfer. So if you're newer or like, you know, have a fresh account, you're gonna be poor, like really poor. So I'm gonna real quick explain how to farm gold and all the other resources while we're at it. Starting with our favorite yellow coin, the Expedition Hub's gold mine is the best way to farm gold. which you can use at the gold shop, stat transfers of course, and increasing your unit inventory, and some other stuff I don't really know about, my bad. The gold mine at level 2 generates roughly 450k every single day as long as you're pumping it with fuel cells, which are fairly easy to get even if you're not kitted out. But if you're low-key struggling to get them reliably, then I think gold should be the least of your worries. Instead, focus on the gems. Now, to be completely honest, the game kind of just spoon feeds you hella gems to work with, but if you're still broke as hell rocking double digits in your wallet, we have the regular and daily challenges to give you 11k, 22k a day, depending on whether or not the weekend search is active. And once you have those out the way, you can perma-grind the mastery story missions and get roughly 30,000 gems overnight, 40,000 sometimes, assuming that you have a good clear speed. Like aim for like a sub 130, 140 run. Me personally, my favorite map to farm gems on is the King's Tomb Mastery mission. I don't know if there's a faster one, but that's just one I do. So now with all these gems that you've gotten, what can you do besides, you know, pull? Unfortunately, there is kind of only one answer, and it's kind of a bad answer, okay? There's something in this game called the Wandering Trader, and oh my god, he just sells straight dog, bro. Like, I don't even know why this guy exists in the game. He pulls up, like, I don't know when, like maybe every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, whenever. But when he does show up, he's there for like a few days, and every 2 hours in game, he'll wander to a new location and sell you 2 items, bro. 2 items. And you just have to pray that it's selling trait rerolls. But yeah, if you still want to go talk to the Wandering Trader, you can find out when he's coming with the in-game event calendar. He might already be here. Just roam around the lobby, he's gonna show up. Now for what y'all actually care about, trait rerolls. And just because I know how much y'all love these, I've actually compiled a list of every single way to grind them. At least I think, I don't know. Now obviously I'm not going to go through all of these. I think it's self-explanatory that most of these you can just earn passively. The important ones, however, that we will discuss are your dailies and weeklies, okay? Well, except the tournaments. Most of y'all can ignore tournaments. And I know it says you can get like up to 275 or something around there from tournaments every week, but it's actually not that bad if you're a dog and can't win tourneys, okay? You're still getting roughly 740 trait rolls a week, not including tourneys, not including achievements, index, level milestones, everything else, okay? Just dailies and weeklies, you get 740, bro. That's quite a lot. Like, you can get a guaranteed, what's it called? Unbound, I think, in this game, every 2 weeks or so. I do recommend that if you don't have an Unbound yet, you should spend your rerolls on like a giga mega meta unit, like Megumi, Kenpachi, Gother, Free Rin, Yuta, Gother, I don't know, okay? Just a meta unit. And the reason is not so that you can meta mans and be super strong and super powerful, but I'm just trying to prevent you from having to roll a 0.1% on your Ramen Kai. Okay, don't roll Investor ever on your farm units until you have your first Unbound. It's gonna feel really bad when you roll Unbound on Senku or the Ramen dude. Alright? Plus, once you get a beefed up hyper carry mega meta unit, obtaining whatever else you want just becomes 3 times easier. This is gonna sound kind of crazy. I know I just said to roll for Unbound, but Unbound isn't actually that good, at least as much as people make it out to be. Specifically with 3 placement units or more, you're usually dealing less total DPS compared to the other mythic traits, but if you get Unbound on a 3 or higher placement, it's not the end of the world in most cases, even on somebody like Yuta, which is like really bad on Unbound compared to getting Forsaken or Draconic. The reason it's not that bad is because the cost efficiency is still very useful. Just imagine, right? Having an Unbound Yuta is way nicer than having a Primordial one when you're just trying to clear challenges and doing your stories and doing raids. Okay, now if you're going for leaderboard, different story. But you get what I'm saying. Now, unfortunately, if you want big number, big bang, then anything with 4 or higher placements is just a really bad loss in total DPS if you're running Unbound instead of the other ones. So yeah, just think about it a little bit more before you decide to roll off your other mythic traits, okay? Unbound might not be the solution. If you're unsure about the best traits for your unit, instead of asking the questions channel with a 2% chance of a proper answer, you can just test it yourself. The game features a sandbox mode where you get to slap on any traits to any of your units, and if you got low math skills and you're willing to experiment a little, that's all it really takes to make the most out of your unit. Hopefully it's the weekend whenever you guys are grinding your traits, because that is when the weekend search event happens. This event doubles the rewards from your challenges, including the trait rerolls, so I know y'all are just foaming at the mouth to see that. The only thing is that it doesn't affect the weekly one, so don't worry if you did the weekly challenge during like the weekday, it's not a big deal. It also doubles your battle pass XP gain, so if you want to make the most of that, you can spam the hell out of raids for both tokens and the battle pass XP. I think I maxed a pass out in a little over a day just doing that. If you haven't already, grab yourself a free trigger unit in the events tab. She's really good despite having no evolution, so she's really low investment. And she's also the first traditional summon unit we've had in this game. Alright, but keep it a buck, okay? If you're this far into this video and the bottom of your screen still is looking like this, right? Just low-key ignore everything I'm going to say and everything I have said, and just focus on one thing only: getting your first evolved unit, bro. If you don't have an evolved unit yet, you're basically homeless. Luckily for you, there are a ton of ways to get gray sprites easily, or just sprites in general, to evolve said unit. You can spend event tokens to get some, cop a few grays from the gold merchant, do your challenges, well, if you can. If you can't, just leech off a friend. Or you could loop the easiest mastery mission for 5 grays a clear. And the faster you have an evoed unit, the quicker you'll be able to progress and obtain whatever else you want in the game. Now if you're unsure about what unit you do want to evolve and looking at the wiki page isn't really helping you, then try doing this evolution trial. You'll be able to test out the evolved version of your unit for free here. Just know that not every unit with an evolution has this, but most of them do, so it's just worth trying it out. It's free. Also, don't forget to claim the rewards from your level milestones, the group rewards from Zoro, and the index, which actually has 3 pages of rewards. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't realize that the claim all button in the index only claimed for the current page till I was like level 74, 64. Yeah, don't be like me, get your bag, claim all 3 pages. And I doubt I need to tell y'all that codes are a great way to get your money up, but did you know you can redeem codes up here instead of talking to Grimjow? You can do this while you're in match too. Really useful. While you're up there, you can also join your friend's party when they're in game as well. I personally have never had this work, but maybe the game will like you better. And if anyone cares, this isn't really a mistake, but you can buy lobby music up here, I guess. It's cool. This little cog here next to your currency lets you add other items to constantly track. You can add like basically everything, but me personally, I just use it for the traits. You know, I'm just trying to be financially responsible with my traits. It can get a little rough out here with the trade economy, so you know, gotta stock up. Alright, let's talk money. So even though the game is surprisingly very free to play friendly, I'm not gonna lie, like no glaze, they kind of cooked with the free to play. But despite that, a little cash investment can go a very long way. So if I were you and I had a little bit of Robux to spend, I would buy VIP first. Everything else just pales in comparison in terms of value to this game pass. But if you got a little bit more bag, then I definitely go for the Battle Pass, Shiny Hunter, and the Starter Bundle. The Battle Pass gives you 150 trait rerolls, the Shiny exclusive unit, and a bunch of other mats. Shiny Hunter seems kind of questionable at first, but you gotta remember, selling legendary shinies nets you 3 trait rerolls, so it's really good if you keep on playing. And lastly, the Starter Bundle is 249 Robux for all of this. It's kind of worth. Better than the other bundles, so for most of the time I played this game, I've been running the default settings, which is kind of troll in retrospect. So here are a list of general settings that I use that might be convenient for you. But first, music, ambience, yeah, that shit is getting muted. Anyways, I recommend these, especially enabling fast summons. If you don't have this, I don't know, you might be 4 years old. Because let's be honest, there is no way you're sitting through 50 pulls of straight blue. Now for the keybinds, firstly, I play on PC, so I'm very sorry mobile and console players, I have no idea how these work for y'all, alright? But this is what I run. The most helpful thing is toggling auto skip waves, auto upgrade unit, and toggle areas menu. If you're not a fan of using the areas menu like me to travel, first, you're a weirdo. And second, you could always just click the icon, I think they're called area helpers, to teleport around the map instead. Even though I am a PC player, I just know that like optimization is usually way worse on mobile, so if you haven't already, turn all of these settings off along with enabling low detail mode, which I still run even though I'm on PC. And if things are really bad, you can disable health bars. And if all of that isn't saving your lag issues, then you might have bigger fish to fry than playing a Roblox anime tower defense. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, you might have to get a JOB to upgrade to a PC. And while we're on the topic of settings, you can actually restart a run in here if the match has already started. Very useful, I use it all the time. Just until yesterday, I've been reopening the quest menu to see my progress because I didn't realize you could pin quests with the pin button. Maybe I'm a little slow, but at least I made the mistake so you don't have to. I have been seeing a ton of people ask for an in-game macro. And to be honest, I low-key don't think this game needs one, but we kind of have like a pseudo macro in the game called phantom placing. By default, this mechanic combined with auto upgrading will let you queue up all of your actions for the current match. It's actually insane. Like you can just load into a game, place your farms, place your DPS, adjust your upgrade prios as needed, and just tab out wave 0 and then you're done, like you just win. It's super convenient for clearing fodder levels like stories, challenges, sometimes raids if you're like that. It's nice. Also, just a quick tip, when you're doing these like phantom placements and auto upgrades, you can actually right click auto upgrade to directly change its priority. Just remember that it'll always prioritize the lowest number, not the highest. So like 1 is first, 2 is second priority, and so on. If you're like me and you're struggling with getting Ichigo or Kenpachi, then I highly recommend you just farm up on Act 1 to farm spirit tokens, and then use said tokens on buying Spirit City totems. That tokens to totems. Each one of these gives you a permanent 10% damage buff for all your units, stacking up to 10 times within the Spirit City raid. That is double the damage, bruh. So just stock up on that, and it's free low. One of the best things about this game is this right here. I know it's just like a little, like very menial, trivial thing, but I love this so much. I don't have to wipe out my whole team and re-equip them in the right order anymore. I just slide it around. No glaze, it's actually goated quality of life. Like Roblox games are generally so doggy water that most quality of life you'll ever get is paywalled behind a $10 game pass. Like how many games have y'all played where it's like a fast spin or fast summon is locked behind like $10? Like come on now. So typically, y'all always want to sell your farm units on the final wave, just like in every other tower defense, even like BTD6, but not in anime expeditions, because the ramen guy's passive provides bonus income on kills. So you want to sell all your senkus and then keep the ramen guy around until just the boss is remaining, and then you can sell him. And even then, bruh, it's not even worth selling him, because if you look at his passive, he only gives you back like 10% of his cost when you sell him. So it's even worse if you sell him. Once you get a little deeper into the mid game or early late game, you'll realize how easy it is to get gray sprites. And sadly, there is a limit to how much you can hold. But you can kind of just dodge the problem by crafting your grays into other sprites before hitting capacity, so you're not just bleeding resources while you're playing. If you're playing with your homies, you're losing, and you think it's a multiplayer scaling's fault, it's probably not. It's probably y'all, because for every additional player, the enemy's health increases only by 50% relative to their base health. So a 2-player lobby would have 50%, 3-player 100, 4 150, and so on. So you're actually getting more total damage than they are getting health. Y'all are probably just losing because somebody's got a hotbar looking like this. I'm not sure why you can do this. You can indefinitely fly and no clip through ceilings by spamming the aura monster emote. Is this useful? Absolutely not. But you gotta admit, it's kind of cool. I'm lying my ass off. I just want to show you. Okay, I'll be honest. It's my bad. Once you're in the end game, you're gonna find yourself lost in the world of equipment. So I'm here to help with that, because equipment is like the best way to buff stats without worrying about gambling trade rolls. Okay, I lied. You're gonna have to gamble and reroll your equipment stats. Sorry. So there are only 2 types of equipment. You have unit and standard. Okay, unit equipment can only be worn by its respective unit and typically enhances one of its passives. Standard equipment, however, is universal and mostly provides stat bonuses. Sometimes it can provide a unique passive like the bamboo thing. By the way, the bamboo thing is kind of crazy, is it not? Like, just read that passive in my pocket. Anyways, neither of these types have a rarity system. Instead, the color of the unit equipment always stays red, while standard changes based off of the percentage of your rolls. So good luck gambling. I need y'all listen up, because what I'm about to say is without a doubt the most important thing in this video. Just have fun. That's it, just have fun. What I mean by that is y'all need to take it slow, reel it back. There's no need to do everything as fast as humanly possible. You don't need to be level 100 2 days into playing the game. You don't need every mythic unit 2 days into playing the game. You don't need Megami day 1. Shit, bro, like you don't even need to be watching this video. You don't need to be watching these guys and having somebody else tell you how to play the game that you want to play. It's just a game, and the point of playing the game is to have fun, bro. So if you're not having fun because you're sitting here chasing dumb shit, what is the point in playing? Plus, the game gives you a lot of time to do things, okay? And it's gonna suck hella ass when there's nothing left to play for because you decided to spend 90 out of the 100 hours of playtime sweating your ass off, speedrunning and getting everything as soon as humanly possible. Now, I understand there are a few exceptions, right? Like, some of y'all are just playing purely to climb leaderboard and win tournaments, and y'all fuck with that competitive energy. So you have to kind of clock in 28 hours a day, I get that. But most of y'all are not tournament fiends. Most of y'all are just here to just have a good time, play with your homies. All I'm saying is y'all respect your own time. Genuinely, I mean that, respect your own time. Because surprisingly, this game does a solid job of respecting yours. No troll, this might be the first anime tower defense game on Roblox I've ever played that is respectful of your time. So even if you're a hardworking 4.0 student with a part-time job on the side, you'll still be able to enjoy the game, especially because of this thing, bro. The AFK time chamber. Now I know every other game has one, but this game is a little unique because unlike the other ones, at least the ones that I've played, this time chamber lets you AFK a specific story mission. Unfortunately, no mastery missions. But peep how the interval between payouts is dependent on your clear time. And you can farm items this way too. It's actually nice, bro. They actually got it like going, like good. I know the title says 47, but I want to leave y'all with one last piece of advice, okay? Whatever you do, do not neglect this game mode. The Expedition game mode is the most important feature AE has to offer. It is literally in the name of the game, bruh, and it provides way too many useful facilities to overlook. One of which is the training grounds, my personal favorite. You can just drop your Ichigo off at like a daycare, come back in 4 hours, and all of a sudden, bro is max level, 400% worthiness, he's ready for war. I could keep talking and going on and on about this game mode, but it's just really nuanced and I don't want to drag this video out, so click here if you're trying to get that Expedition EBK. And if there's nothing here to click, then the video isn't out yet. My bad. I'm sure someone else has a guide, but mine's gonna be better. Mine's gonna be better, probably.